And I think you touch on something which is very important in the entrepreneurship space. People saying, look, I've got this job that pays me well, right? Like, am
Right.
I going to give that up and, and start this
Yeah.
experiment? Like
Mhm.
both of you had really good jobs, right?
Yeah.
How did you make the transition?
You know what? For me personally, I'll speak for myself because I think even though we did the transition together, it was different experiences for the both of us. But when I was actually thinking about this and what I'd like also people to remember about entrepreneurship, that it's all about vulnerability. And it's really nothing that I knew before going into business. And I saw this other quote this morning that said, you're not scared to start small, you're scared about what people will say with you starting small. And so it's not about. So what happened was that it was really just having to decide to follow our passion. But more than that, it started years before, because we'd always known that entrepreneurship is definitely where we are gonna end up, and we did not know in what space. We've tried many different businesses before that have failed, but we knew that this is definitely the path. And I think something had to give, and we had to decide, okay, everything down, we're now going to go and start our business full time. And what we thought, because when we were doing our markets, we had our own salary and we would get the money from the market, and we thought, okay, it's going to be the same way, because we never imagined that entrepreneurship or the business that we were doing then at markets was challenging. We thought, you have money and that's the bottom line, that's full stop, you've got money. And when we started doing the business, the markets were, they were doing really well, but the thing is that we did not have the salary to supplement it, and it was really challenging to a point where you find yourself not being able to afford 12 rand airtime. And I remember when we were planning to go to this market, that's when we decided to do the business full time. We started off doing markets in the beginning, continuing where we had started and hoping that this is going to build up to where we wanted to go. And it was so hard for us to actually go to this market, get the stall, get the logistics together. And I thought to myself, but it was never this hard. But the truth is that then I had a salary to supplement it. And at this point, then we had to be vulnerable enough to be able to ask for assistance. And so you had to let go of, your corporate self, the one that had it all together. And you had to start from scratch and actually understand how messy entrepreneurship is, especially in the beginning. It really is messy. And not for everybody. Some people might have it easy, but my personal story was really a mess and a lot to adjust in. And so I had to learn to be vulnerable. And another thing that really helped me, and what I've learned, and it really is helping me propel, into the business currently, is being able to use what we have. So compared to when we were working full time, we had money to buy plants that we used as displays when we had our planters, which we used to sell. Now we had to think about how can we get plants for free. We went to botanical gardens, so we had to use whatever resources we had. And that's where creativity comes in. And from there, you learn many, many other things. So it was really not an easy transition at all. But like anything in life that is challenging, you look back and you say, thank God I went through that, because you appreciate the process so much better, having gone through the challenges. So it was a beautiful, it's a beautiful mess, and it continues to be a beautiful mess, because I think there's a lot we're
Yeah.
still doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.